Well, hey there, all you rockaholics and CGCM Rock Radio faithful. Welcome into another edition of Rock Talk. My name is Bob Bannister. And before we get into this edition, why don't you take a few moments and just smash that like and subscribe and notification button because it helps us out, it helps the algorithm grow, and it helps you to stay informed with all things that's going on with Rock Talk. On this edition of Rock Talk, we catch up with a young lady from Melbourne, and she just released her brand new album, There's a Jewell in Town, back in June, and it is phenomenal. I have to say that. It's probably going to end up on my top 10. I like it that much. The artist I'm talking about is the one, the only Karly Kewell. She is hot off the Rock is Not, well, not the Rock is Not Dead, sorry, the Rock Hard Festival with Phil and Tish. And we'll talk more about that in the interview. I think you're really going to like this. She's a little ball of energy and she's a whole lot of fun to talk to as well. So stay tuned. Let's step into the studio and have a chat with the one, the only Karly Kewell. All right, let's welcome to a Rock Talk, the one, the only Karly Kewell from Melbourne. How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you here. Now, I got to ask you, how you feeling? Because I know you were playing that Rock Hard Festival with Phil and Tish, and a lot of people at that show got sick.
Yeah, I got the sickness as well. So it's been a little bit of a downer week. But yeah, I'm almost back to good. So yeah.
I like that. Almost back to good. I'm going to steal that. I got to say, I got to say,
it was not fun. It was not fun, but I would definitely go to Adelaide and do it all again.
absolutely. It looks like so much fun. I'm living vicariously through Facebook, watching all these cool things you guys have got going on down there. I got to say, I'm pretty jealous of your music scene in Australia.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And you know what? It's so I feel so lucky to be in Melbourne as well. Like it's just like we have everything here. We've got the great rock scene. There's like a little bit of underground music. There's so much of everything in Melbourne. So yeah.
And coming up on the 20th, you're playing that show with Wicked Things and Blaze and Delacoma. That's exciting.
Yeah, for the album launch. Yeah, I absolutely loved Del. So when he shot me a message, I was like, yeah, don't even ask, just put me on. Yeah, absolutely can't wait for that one. It's gonna be so cool.
Absolutely. Now let's talk about your music here. Your album came out in June. It's There's a Jewell in Town, and I gotta say, every time I listen to it, it just seems like it starts and then it's done. It flows so seamlessly. Very well done.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, it was so exciting to get that album out because I'd had those songs, just holding on to them. And I was so excited for the longest time. I was like, I just can't wait to get these out. Like, these are my biggest songs I've done yet, like production wise and working with the producer I'm working with now. And yeah, it was just, it was like hanging on to like the biggest secret ever. And then I was like, yes, I finally get to let them out.
So, what would you say is the most autobiographical song on that album? Because I listened to it and it sounds like you're telling your story.
Yeah, I am a storyteller and I always, want to know, want people to know like who I am, where I'm from. And, I think the two songs that really sum me up on that are Sad Girl and There's a Jewell in Town, I think, because it's my story. I write sad songs. I try and get away from it, but I've just got this thing for writing sad songs. And it's just, it's life experience. And I'm grateful for this. And someone pointed out, that I do write a lot of sad songs. And I thought, well, I can have fun with that too. And I mean, as a songwriter, you're always you'll never know really if you're going to write an anthem or not.
Mm.
And I just wanted that pop rock anthem because I mean we all love, saying swear words. Like it's rebellious. We don't say you don't love it. Even the producer was like, "This is so cool," because obviously I couldn't say the word I wanted to say and make it sound so cool. So I was like, I decided to do this big spell out, yell out in Sad Girl, and it really sums up who I am. I do write a lot of sad songs, and I'm grateful for that. And I was from a small town, and my grandfather used to tell me like, you got to dream big, get out of this small town. You don't have to stay, and he would always tell me, let him know there's a jewel in town before every single show. And that was my honor to write this album and have everything my grandfather taught me put into, my songwriting, and know that I can write great songs. And so yeah, that's there's a jewel in town, is exactly what I'm doing from one place to the next, one song to the next, just letting people know who I am. And yeah.
So who did you grow up listening to though?
Oh, well, you know what? I grew up around country music. Um, and then on the weekends, I would listen to, like rock and roll, AC/DC, Rose Tattoo, all that kind of stuff. And,
Mm.
my mom and my uncle would go and see Rose Tattoo and Divinals and, when they'd come to town. So it was, all that. But I think I was really inspired by music, and storytelling was kind of what came first because I mean, even now I think about it. Yeah, I love all those rock bands, but I'm such a Taylor Swift fan and Miley Cyrus, and like I love Lady Gaga, and sometimes I forget to mention that so much. Like I just absolutely love her. And it's always evolving. Like I just love music in general, but yeah, I think my biggest influence would be my grandfather, just to be a songwriter and an artist, of my own.
Mm.
And yeah, so I mean, it comes from everywhere.
And it's interesting. You're talking about country music, and I spent a lot of time in my professional career as a country music DJ, and it's a great genre of music. But the one thing that I've really kind of noticed is if you go back and you visit the music that you grew up on, like I personally speaking, I used to be a
Yeah.
Duran Duran fan, kind of grew out of them, and then went
Oh
back
yeah.
over the past couple years, listened to them again, and it's like, you know what? These guys are really, really good, like musically, really, really good. Have you had anything
Yeah.
like that where you've kind of stepped back and went, "Hey, wait a minute. Why did I get away from this?"
Yeah. I think that the country kind of sound comes through. I mean, when I first started playing in America, I was playing rock songs and people were like, "Wow, this is like country." And I was like, "What?" Um, then I really went into the Nashville country scene, and I was like, it's just they're rock songs, but they're big rock ballads, and I've got a love for ballads. I write ballads first. I love ballads, um, and yeah, I think that really shines through. It's always going to be there. I mean, they're my roots.
Mhm.
That's what I grew up around. So it always it does. There is an element in there that has just stayed with me forever. It's in Jewell in town. It's in, all of that. Even Rock Ain't Pretty. It's got that vibe in there. So yeah, I'm just a country kid, I guess, in a rock and roll band.
There you go. Hey, that's a song right there. Country kid in a rock and roll band.
Yeah.
So, what can fans expect when they walk into a club and see Karly live?
Oh, it's I really give it my all. Like every single show. It doesn't matter if there's like 10 people there or 100, or whether you're playing in front of a massive crowd. It's just I just give it my all, and I'm pretty morbid. I think like what if this was my last shot at doing this? Like what if I'm not here tomorrow? Um, so I mean, it's high energy, it's fun, everyone's involved. I mean, and if you come to my show or even listen to my songs, you're never alone. I never want anyone to feel like they're alone. So I've heard sometimes people have told me like they were waiting for a slower song just to like calm down because it was so much high energy. And I was like, there's a time and a place. Like this time it wasn't that. It was like all in, let's go. But it's a lot of fun at a Karly Kewell show.
So if somebody came to you and said you had to keep 5 songs in your set from now until the end of your career, what 5 songs would you keep in your set? It can be covers, it can be originals.
Sometimes when I don't feel like doing Sad Girl, everyone wants Sad Girl, so I can't get rid of that. I just absolutely love Jewell in Town because that's my song, like representing I'm doing what I love. So that's gonna stay. I cannot get away from Sid and Nancy. It's such a fun song, and yeah, we always say, this is the hit song, Sid and Nancy. So I can't get away from that. Dancing with the Devil is another one. I just can't. I try, but people make it stay. So you've got to listen to the people, right?
That's right.
It's not about me. It's not about me all the time. And I don't know what other song. Maybe I haven't written that yet or found it, but
How
there'll
about
be another one.
how about a couple covers? Throw in a couple covers that you have to do.
Uh, I don't really do a lot of covers, but I
Oh,
do love
okay.
Rock and Roll by Rose Tattoo. That was one of my favorite covers to ever play. So I don't know. It might be that a bit of rock and roll.
And is there a song that comes on the radio where you just hear that and you go, you know what? I really wish I wrote that song.
Oh, um, yeah. What's it called? I can't remember the name. It's a guy and a girl. They do piano. If I think of it before the end of the interview, I'll let you know. But every time I hear it, I'm like, wow, I wish I wrote that song.
All right. But do you have a piece of advice you'd like to give to an artist that's just fresh out of the gates, so to speak, that you received or that.
Yeah, 100%. Um, don't try and write songs for other people. You have to write them for yourselves. That's the most important thing. I feel like if you're an artist that's like always told, okay, you want to be in a rock band, you have to write rock songs. You're limited to this one box. Just write from feeling and never be afraid to ask questions. I'm learning every day still. Um, yeah, so just ask the questions and just be yourself. That's the most important thing.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Bucket list album. What would you say that is? Or not
Bucket
bucket list.
list.
Sorry. Let me take that again. Desert Island album. Sorry, I'm getting the questions mixed up here.
Desert Island album.
Yes.
What I would take with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm. Um, Maybe David Bowie, maybe Black Star,
That's a
or
great album.
oh my goodness, I know. There's that is a journey from start to finish, and it was so emotional. Or maybe
Oh.
like some um, I love Casey Chambers, so she's an
Mhm.
Australian country artist.
Mhm.
So, or Fleetwood Mac, it'd be something like that, or Miley Cyrus, or even the new Taylor Swift album. I'm totally loving it, and I don't care what anyone thinks.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. I actually have when I was in country radio, we took a bunch of listeners down to Toronto to see Taylor Swift, and actually got a meet and greet with her. She's really cool, very
Yeah.
tall,
I
very
mean,
tall.
yeah, she's such an amazing songwriter. It's the same as Miley Cyrus and Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Like, I think the three of them are like, so inspiring as like songwriters. It's just and they're always evolving as well.
Hmm.
But yeah.
But it's speaking of those artists and their genre as compared to the rock world, really. How important is it? Do you think that the walls of the genres are melting away? Like it doesn't seem to matter anymore. Like you were saying about don't pigeonhole yourself. Don't think that you're writing a rock song. Just write whatever.
Yeah, I mean, unless you want to be just the one thing and you've got your heart set on and or you tunnel vision to the end of where you're going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you just kind of close the door on yourself as an artist. Um, I people would always ask what I am. I was like, I don't know. I am what I am. Like you just get what you get, all right. I can't tell. Like, I write from feeling, so I never sit down and go, I'm going to write a pop song today. I'm going to write a really heavy melodic song. It's just it's feeling, it's emotion, and they just it's just a story, and the music will come around it later. It'll just fall into place, I think. And I think it's so good that these walls are being, you know, torn down because you can go, well, I want to try this or I want to try that. Like, don't be scared to try.
Mhm.
Um, it's like being in the studio. If you don't like it, you can delete it. You don't have to use it. But if it's good, I mean, why not?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I mean, it opens doors as well to play with so many other bands. If you're a live show artist, like I can go from doing like, like pop rock nights to like really heavy rock, you know, nights because I've got these songs where I go, okay, I'm going to use these songs for that lineup or these songs, or, I do acoustic shows as well, which is completely different. And I've got, different acoustic songs, and it's a whole new world for me. Like, it's a sit down dinner show with fairy lights and no shoes, and I'm wearing dresses, and then on another night, the other people get to see me with the ripped jeans and the Converse and the sweat dripping down, and we're ready for it. um and I just love that I can have so many connections with so many people.
So what's your creative process like? Does it like the storyline of the song hits you first and then you build the music around it, or
I don't know sometimes it just comes to me.
Mhm.
I write a lot of songs. Like, a lot of the new album, I think, came from the shower. It must be water thoughts, like just when you're in the shower and you're just like, that's a great idea. And then you'll, start singing in the shower. Or, when I'm driving. I don't know, like sometimes it happens when I'm asleep as well. I'll just be on the verge, like lucid dreaming, and then the song
Mhm.
will come to you. You think, oh, I will remember it, and then you never do the next day. But my phone is full of like recordings because I'm like, oh, quick, here's an idea. But sometimes it's just like things can happen. I can be so sad, and I'm like, what does this sound like? Or something can be so hurtful, and I was like, what does this sound feel like that's of hurt? And that's kind of probably the only time I'll sit down when I've got something in my mind that I can't get rid of and I need to get it out. Then I'll think about how this is going to sound. But apart from that, like, they'll just come to me, and then I just kind of listen and let them fall into place. I've never really sat down and thought I'll write a song unless, I'm trying to get through something. But yeah, they just appear, and it can be so inconvenient sometimes. Like, I'll be really busy and then it'll just happen. I was like, I can't be at work right now. Like, I need to go and work on this hook idea that I've got.
Yeah, I can totally relate because I do a lot of the promos and stuff like that for my radio station CGCM, and I'll be at my work and I'll be working away, and then somebody will say something, and it's like, oh, yes, I'm going to use that, and then I quickly have to run upstairs, grab my phone or grab my notebook out of my pocket and scribble it down, and
Yeah, I know. It used to happen to me at my old job. Like, I'd go to give someone a receipt and I'd think of a line, I'd just like write on it, and they'll be like, oh, can I actually have a receipt? And I was like, all right. Yeah, I'll print you another one. Or like at work, I'd always write notes. And yeah, I've got a lot of stuff from my grandfather's studio at home as well, and he would be the same. Like, I've got a lot of random pieces of paper, or just receipts or something with a line on it. And yeah, it just shows that like we're both very much the same.
Nice, nice. Well, before we wrap this thing up, I like to do a little thing called this or that. It's just a few short questions, top of the head answers, really nothing to do with music. If you're ready,
Okay.
we'll just
Yep.
fire into this called this or that. All right. Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Fries or onion rings?
Oh, fries.
Camping or hotels?
Oh, that's hard. I'm gonna go hotels.
Stadium show or club gig?
Uh, Stadium.
Here's one. Choose your superpower: invisibility or mind reading?
Mm, I do mind reading.
And finally, the big question that divides everybody: pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Yes, I'm a yes.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, thank you very much, Karly, Jewell, for joining us on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're quite welcome, and I want to thank you as well for joining us, and we'll catch you again next time on another edition of Rock Talk right here with CGCM Rock Radio.